This is part 2 of the recording of remembering who we are and what's a nice Jewish girl doing here. It's all one and the same, and this is Iriana, and I'm very, very, very delighted to be here to share this with you. I was listening to the first segment of this and needed to kind of tune in to see where Spirit wants me to go with the second part. And I will say this, that in my growing up years, the one thing that stood out the most growing up in Brooklyn at the time I did, and that was from 1940 until 1952. We moved to Queens in 1952. And I was so blessed because I grew up in a melting pot, and the people around me were from all different backgrounds, from different places. My grandparents were from Russia on both sides, and I was around a lot of Italian people, a lot of Jewish people, a lot of Polish people, a lot of German people, just people from everywhere, from all different backgrounds, and many of them had come from Europe, from the countries originally, like my grandparents did, so they were not American. So the only thing that I was not exposed to, I was exposed to were Asian people, but I wasn't exposed to very many African Americans in my neighborhood. But at 9 years old, I took the subway to go to my orthodontist all by myself. My mother was pregnant with my brother, and he's 10 years younger than I am. So I had to take the subway all by myself, and I know I saw African American people on the subway. And in the area, there were some African Americans, not many. There were no families, maybe people who worked in the area, like in the apartment building I lived in, or some things like that. But apparently African Americans just didn't settle in our neighborhood. And my grandparents lived within walking distance from the apartment building that I lived in with my parents. And my father was basically very talented. He was a dress cutter, but he could have been an artist. He was very, very talented. And my mother was going to be a concert pianist. My grandfather was a musician. He played the trumpet professionally, but he also taught the violin and the piano. And my mother was taught the piano, and she was apparently very good. I never heard her play because my grandfather told her that she could not, as a woman, make it in the music world.